Oh yeah, here we go. About 34 degrees out. "103. There's the base light. Hey guys, Derek Bonzani. Welcome to our little channel, Greenback Grange. As we move on and kind of move into this new location of ours, we love to do little projects and things around, and we love people. We love watching people on YouTube, so we thought we'd make a YouTube as well. We've put up a few videos of the property and just slowly been adding things to it, but we basically want to keep the channel rolling and just kind of see what happens. So here we are today. It is December and we're almost at Christmas time. We have done a lot of work and we've videoed and filmed a lot of things that will be upcoming once we actually get an internet connection. But the problem is we're waiting on Comcast to finish up. We do have a line. It's sticking out over there. That's our temporary electric pole and water and our sewer system up in here. So we are living out of this Sunset Trail we bought. It is 2021 and it has definitely been not a challenge. It's been kind of fun, but tight. You know, it's a 31-foot trailer and we're getting through it. So anyway, our property is here in Greenback, Tennessee, and we are going to call it Greenback Grange. It's not officially a farm because we don't have a lot of flat land. Our neighbors do, as you'll see in some of the videos. But we do have a beautiful 2-acre pond. And I'm sure you've seen that in some of the videos. We are in the midst of clearing. There's been a lot of brush and things we've taken down. We've got sand for the beach here. We have cleared down. There was mounds of dirt here, and of course we've had a lot of rain over the past couple days. So the house is behind me. We've got the floor done. New trusses are on their way. So once the trusses get here, we're gonna start getting this thing up and start videoing the progress on that as well. And that's about it. So we are working on it, working on a dock, working on a whole bunch of projects at the same time. And of course it's been cold and this place was really neglected for a long time. So we have been putting rock down and dealing with mud and all that fun stuff. So the whole purpose of this video is to show off my new creation, which is a IBC tank saltwater hot tub. I love hot tubs. My wife loves hot tubs. That's kind of one of our ways of relaxing. As you'll see by some other videos online I've got on my own personal page. I work for Porsche, so my main job is working with cars and selling cars, and my hobbies are basically coming home and playing with the tractor and building stuff like this. So this is our, we're going to call it the IBC Tote saltwater hot tub. I have been working on this thing for about a month, if not a little more than that, and I have shot videos on how I've created it, tested it, and been fixing leaks and resealing things and kind of learning as I go, because you know, I know the basics, and I'm certainly not a plumber. I'm sure people will pick on me for certain things, and that's okay. This is basically meant to be more of a hobby, and I love tinkering. So anybody that knows me knows I did electronics in my past life. So as you'll see here, this is my 12-volt setup. There's a lot going on here. The whole goal for me was simplicity, and this doesn't look very simple, but the way it works is actually pretty simple. So without going and getting a real hot tub and spending thousands of dollars, I basically bought one of these food grade totes, which is called an IBC tote. And this is one I use for spare water, rainwater. When I filter the water out, I put it in there, and we kind of reuse it to rinse our feet with this nozzle here. But in here, this is my little cover I created with just some fiberboard, and then in here there's a little bench in there. See the water's flowing, and then I've got a couple different I got a couple different things going on inside the hot tub that I'll go over more specifically in the videos that I post of me building it. So basically how it works is the 120 volt side, the side that runs, is designed to keep the water circulating. It's on this side. And what happens is I run it through this, comes out from the hot tub down here into the pump. It's like it would in a pool. And on filter mode, it goes through here into this 120 volt flow heater. You can buy these on Amazon. They're about $100 and they run off 120 volts. And I've got a big fat 10 gauge wire extension cord running it. And yes, I do have a little leak in there and a nasty taping job. That's because we've had a couple different fittings on there. I'll warn you in a different video, these fittings are totally weird and very hard to find. So I've been playing around with different hose types and different types of fittings, but basically it goes into the other side of the hot tub and filters the salt water that's in here. Now in here I also have a salt generator, and they run on very low voltage. They won't hurt you. It's down there. I don't know if you can see it in this video down there, but it's floating in there with a temperature sensor, and what that does is creates its own chlorine with pool salt. And on a tub this small, basically me, my wife, and the kids can fit in here as well. I run about 2.5 to 3 cups with this generator, and I keep it all the way down on the lowest setting. So this runs off 120, the pump runs off 120, and I basically run those through the night. That way everything stays moving, especially if it drops below freezing. And then you can see I've got everything wrapped up pretty good with some really thick hose. Haven't had any freezing problems. It's definitely behaved itself. Then I've got this outdoor Gasland heater. So this is the 12 volt side. And with this remote, basically what I do is when I get home or when I want to go in the hot tub, I just filled it. So that's probably the coldest it's been in a while, 59 degrees. I just basically washed it out and refilled it and tightened up some seals that I had on the side that were leaking. So when it's fresh like this, I'm going to run it, and it's probably going to heat in about 4 hours realistically, because the 120 volt side runs the heater over here, and it gets to about this guy all the way up. It'll take it to about 90 to 95 degrees with this size tub. So basically, to push it over to the 104 or 103 or 102, whatever temperature you like, I use this 12 volt motor, and I'm running it off of a bunch of controllers. But basically what the controller does is the white box in here comes from the fuse panel, which is also in there. I got a fuse on each thing I'm doing here. I got a deep cycle battery, and the deep cycle battery actually charges with the solar panel. Now that was something I did. I still charge it with a regular charger once in a while if it's a cloudy day. You can kind of see it in there. It's running at 12.2. That's about what it runs when the motor's running, and considering this draws a max of 7 amps, it doesn't have any problems at all. This guy right here you can buy also on Amazon, and what that does, that's just basically a temperature gauge with a relay built into it. So when you're running this kind of amperage, like a 7 amp pump here, this will automatically turn this on. Once it hits the temperature I have it set to, it'll turn off, which is right now 103, and that's the temperature inside the hot tub. So it's a real simple system. It's got 4 wires on it, 2 that feed it, and then you've got a ground and a relay wire that turns the motor on once. Basically it's on the whole time until it hits the temperature you set it to. So once the temperature gets to the 103 or whatever I preset it to, this big orange light, which is one of those neon waterproof outdoor LED lights, lights the whole tank in basically like an amber color. That way when we're inside the camper, we know that the hot tub's ready to go, which I basically engineered into this relay right here. There's a separate relay built down and with all these wires. So green light shows me that's on. I've turned it on, it's active, and then the orange light kicks on with the relay once it's hit its set temperature. So at night this whole thing glows like an orange. It's a really cool color, and I'll make sure I attach a photo to that because it's pretty cool. there is a quick filter. This filter here is going, it's just a screen filter, and it goes into the pump so I don't get any garbage in there. And then this goes into the Gasland outdoor heater, and as you can see, they are outdoor, but you know, my temperature gauge gets some moisture in it once in a while, but I haven't had any issues with this thing. You know, even if water gets in it, I'm not saying that's the way they recommend it, but what it will do is when the pump turns on and once it sees flow of water, the 2D batteries in there automatically activate the propane switch and automatically fire and heat the water. The nice thing about this is it gets scalding hot, so I've seen it up to about 140, 145 on here, back when that display was behaving itself. But that pumps it right into the back of the tub there, and then of course with the circulation going on with the other pump, it heats it pretty quickly, especially as the temperature gets up. Once it hits that 90 spot, which is about where it sits, it will get the hot tub to 103 in about less than an hour. It's usually about 30 minutes to 45. So that's how we did it. I filled that gas tank. I got 2 of them. I got a backup inside. I probably fill that once every 2 weeks or so, so it's not that bad with this size here. I've cut it down. Obviously these things are much taller. I basically cut the top rack off and use that as a shoe rack over there to keep our muddy boots outside and keep them dry. I've made this little cover here, just some thick plastic, and as you can see it's flexible, so I can just pop it right off. But actually it's pretty comfortable in there, and I wanted to do the salt water because I hadn't seen many people do a salt water in a do-it-yourself, and it is a little more expensive to do it that way. You got to buy that salt generator, which runs about 250 bucks, 220. And then of course you got to have your filter, which is that sand filter system, which is another couple hundred. So I'll have to break down the cost in another video, but that is how it works. So anyway, we'll try it out tonight, now that it's completely running and only leaking in one spot now. But that's what we do. So anyway, we'll keep the videos coming. I just wanted to give a preview of that because I've got a whole bunch of that fun stuff coming up, and I love doing little projects. So this channel is just going to be more of a do-it-yourself kind of thing. Obviously, for safety reasons, you know, we're going to say don't try this at home, just to make sure everybody's safe. But you know, if you want to know the way I did things and how I did it and how I created it, you're more than welcome to watch these videos and check them out and give us some likes. So we'd love to get this thing started and get everybody excited, and we've got some great future plans for this place. You know, putting more fish in, stocking the pond. Once we get the house built, obviously garages and some outbuildings and some other things we're working on. So stay tuned. Thank you so much.